Earlier this week, I released a video where we saw what would happen if we accepted every single transfer offer with Arsenal. You guys absolutely loved it. A big thank you to everybody that subscribed on this road to 100,000 subscribers. But now, it's time to try out a different style of transfer experiment. We're going to see if we can win a Premier League title with Southampton in 3 seasons using only straight swaps. No money allowed, just purely trading one player for another. This is going to be unbelievably hard, but could provide for some ridiculous content. Hopefully you all enjoy it. But fellas, my name is JarradHD. Welcome to the channel. If you are new around here, make sure that you scorpion kick that subscribe button. Also, turn on the notifications bell to keep up to date with every single upload. So this is our starting 11 for the first season, and I'm not gonna lie, I didn't realize how good of a squad Southampton has this FIFA. Depth in every position, so many good players. It's going to be interesting to see what trades we're able to pull off. And in terms of the way I'm going to work it out on like what position I work for, I'm going to go from the weakest positions and then upgrade slowly and surely. I've never tried anything like this before, so I'm probably just as interested, if not more interested than you guys are. It's gonna be interesting. Our first straight swap is going to be Alexis Blin from Toulouse. Great high potential player. He's going straight out for Geordie Classy. So we've managed to pull off a transfer I was not expecting to go through. A straight swap. Fraser Forster for Jordan Pickford from Sunderland, a great signing. You guys would probably realize that I'm signing players, even though they might be lower rated than the player we're trading away, they're going to be better in the future because they got better potential. So here we are on transfer deadline day. It's been pretty difficult trying to get players in, but we're bringing in a young attacking midfielder, Nadim Amiri from Hoffenheim, straight swap for Dusan Tadic. You guys might look at the business that I've been doing, but my whole mindset is get younger players in that can grow higher than the players that we originally had, sell them on, and then get world-class players. We might struggle for this first season, but in the long term, it's probably a better strategy. So here we are on the 1st of January. Things really aren't going too well. We're sitting in 15th position, and we're only 1 point out of the relegation zone. Hull City, West Ham, and Swansea are all in the relegation zone, but a few losses and we could be dead last. On the other hand, you look towards the top end of the table, we're only 8 points away from Chelsea in 5th, so a very, very close Premier League race at the moment. And not that we're too focused on the Europa League, but here's an update. We went pretty damn bad in it, finishing 3rd in our group, 4 points with Lille and Krasnodar going through. So now it's all about going through and seeing if we can make any transfers in this January window. These transfers are proving a lot harder than I first expected, like ridiculously hard. So I thought it'd be a pretty good idea to focus on some of our bench players as well, rather than just the starting 11. So Stephen Davis is getting straight swapped for Hassan Diosse. Don't reject it, accept it. And focusing on the starting 11 once again, Marcus Coco coming in on a straight swap for Nathan Redmond. So here we are at the end of the first season. We didn't go any better than we were at January. We survived. Will we survive our job? That's a different story, but we're 5 points clear out of the relegation zone. Hull, Burnley, and Watford all relegated. Manchester United ended up crushing the Premier League in the second half of the season. 10 points clear of Arsenal and Spurs. Taking a look at the other competitions, it is Chelsea winning the FA Cup. Stoke City won the EFL Cup. Roma won the Champions League over Arsenal. And Villarreal beat Bayern Munich in the Europa League final. So here's a little look at how our squad is looking after the first season. Definitely want to be doing a lot more business heading into the second season, but it can be pretty damn hard at times. Clubs are very difficult to trade with, and it seems to be that if you want to get somebody, they have to be much lower than the player you're offering. Some players were around similar overalls, but in a general sense, the biggest thing I think is going to be getting players now that are young and that can develop for the third season so we can give it a good crack, because Otherwise, it's going to be quite a difficult experiment, but that's all a part of the process. So season 1, done and dusted. Pretty interested to see what business we can actually make in season 2, and if we can keep our job heading into season 2. So for the whole challenge video, I've been trying to get a centre back in to replace Caceres. No clubs wanted Caceres, so I've decided to put in a different position, Charlie Austin, for Issa Diop, one of the best young centre-backs in the game. And we're going to make our second signing here. He's not even going to be a first-team signing. Martin Caceres out of the club. He's too valuable to have sitting around on the bench. He's going to be replaced by Lucas Klosterman from Leipzig. A big move for the swap challenge. Kylian Mbappe, one of the highest rated young strikers in Europe right now, is coming to Southampton. A straight swap for Gabbiadini. Gabbiadini was at an 82 rating, so it's going to be interesting to see how long it takes Mbappe to catch up and then overtake Gabbiadini, but it's all a part of the experiment, so welcome Kylian. And on deadline day, we're going to bring in Ben Gibson from Middlesbrough as a backup centre-back and get rid of our backup goalkeeper, Alex McCarthy. So here is our squad at the end of this transfer window for the second season, the first window for the second season. We've laid down the foundations, I would say, for some successful growth. It'll be quite interesting to see how our team grows over this season. And if you guys have any suggestions on tactics or game plans I could use if I did another one of these episodes, let me know, because it's all a bit of a feeler at the moment. This is the tactic I've gone in with. I've gone in and traded out our first team players for maybe lower rated players, but ones that can be at a higher rating at the third season, so we can have the best shot possible at going for the title. But if you have any other game plans, let me know. I'd be interested to see how you guys think about it. This really is not going to plan at all. Halfway through the season, we're in a worse position than last year. Granted, again like last year, there is so much potential to go up the table and still so much to go down. 17th position, 20 points. That is terrible. Although Jordan Pickford being injured would probably play a big part in it. Besides that though, our squad is growing quite nicely. It would be stronger than it's been all episode long. So it really does not make sense for us to be that low. We'll see how we finish up in the second half of the season though. Let's see if we can make some transfers in January. Alright, so it's a bit of a risk here. I didn't have enough time to scout Johnny to see what overall he was, but we're going to be doing a straight left back swap. Ryan Bertrand, who's well past his peak now, for Johnny. So he's only one overall less than Bertrand was, but he does have higher potential, so he'll probably end up overtaking him by the end of the third season. So we finish this second season at a higher spot than the first, moving up to 13th, so definitely a stronger second half of the season than the first, but still not where we want to be. Our goal for this challenge is to try winning the title in the third season, and judging on this record, we're going to have to pull off a huge feat. It's going to be a huge feat if we want to go ahead and be where Tottenham are now. Tottenham did win the Premier League title in this second season, equal on points with Everton, but they had a better goal difference. And the sides going down are Fulham, Middlesbrough and Bournemouth. Spurs also won the FA Cup, a North London derby in the final, penalty shootout they won. We were eliminated in the round of 16 by West Ham. And in the EFL Cup, it is Arsenal winning on a penalty shootout this time. They defeated Chelsea in that final. We were nowhere to be seen. So Spurs did the treble. Fair play to them. They defeated Bayern Munich in the Champions League final. And Bayer Leverkusen defeated Napoli 2-1 to lift the Europa League title. So I'm quite interested to see, heading into the third and final season, just how much of an improvement we can make. A lot of our players are going to grow, but will they grow enough to get us the Premier League title? Let's find out. So, beginning this third season and this third and final season, I'm a little bit conflicted. This was a very raw challenge and concept to me, and I'm at a bit of a crossroads. So this is the squad we have heading into the third season. Every single player in this squad still has a lot of room to grow. And I don't know how I'm going to upgrade it, because we've got the one season to try going as far as possible in the Premier League. And one thing I've noticed when it comes to swapping players, you generally have to go and get someone that's lower rated than you're trying to swap. So if I was to go and get somebody new in this squad, they would be lower rated. It's a huge gamble to whether they can get further than the level of the player that we traded originally, if that makes sense. So as I said earlier, make sure you leave a comment down below letting me know some game plan ideas if I do this again. But you know what? That's what happens with the concept. You try out new things. Doesn't always come off, but we're still going to have a good crack at completing the challenge. Hopefully our squad just goes gangbusters and we can really push for the title. Believe it or not, just about halfway through the Premier League season, we genuinely have a chance of completing the challenge. It is going to be quite tough, but we're 6 points off first place Chelsea. Also, shout out to Swansea. They're deep in the race. You would think that Swansea and Spurs would be swapped. They did the treble last year, and now they're in the drop zone. Champions League winners, Premier League winners. No, they lost the FA Cup, didn't they? But did they win the EFL Cup? I can't even remember. But Spurs, they are in the drop zone. That is stupid. But we're not going to worry about Spurs. We've got to worry about ourselves. I'm interested to see how the squad is progressing to get us this high up the table. Let's go and have a look at the squad here on the 1st of January. So they're growing quite nicely. Mbappe up at an 83, Buffal at an 84, Amiri at an 83. I reckon if this was like a 5-season challenge, we would definitely complete it. Maybe that's something I could do in the future if I do another video like this. As I've said 100 million times, and I'm starting to sound like a broken record like right now, but let me know your suggestions. So here we are at the end of the challenge. We are in 11th position, and we're going to throw this one down as a big fat failure. Holy crap, look at Spurs. They went from 18th to 5th. That is just absolutely stupid. Norwich, Sheffield Wednesday, and Aston Villa relegated. And who is the champion? And Arsenal are the champions, 2 points ahead of Chelsea. Not that it really matters, but we'll have a quick look at the other competitions. Spurs won the FA Cup. Liverpool beat us in the EFL Cup final. On penalties as well. That could have been a nice little shining point. Real Madrid won the Champions League over Napoli, and Inter Milan won the Europa League. So here is our final squad. We built a pretty good squad, but I'm hopeful that if we try to attempt this challenge again, we can do it much better. But anyways, fellas, that will conclude today's video. If you enjoyed it, make sure that you leave a like on the video, and also, most importantly, make sure that you scorpion kick that subscribe button if you are new around here. We're on the road to 100,000 subscribers. But anyways, fellas, most importantly, I hope you have a fantastic day. It has been JarradHD here. I'm out. Peace.